Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be trying out one of the first MTGO 5.0 deck lists from the first day of standard kind of tournament leagues on MTGO. There was only like 4 lists. There wasn't huge amounts of innovation, so we're not going to do a dedicated video on it. But this list here, it is a 5-color Legends deck. So we had some versions with the slogurk deck in the past, but this particular one's interesting. It's got a bunch of new cards in it, which we'll cover. The only other like innovation that we have, like Boros is playing Inspiring Vantage as expected. There's not really anything new with that deck. There was like a Picnic Ruiner deck, but it's not even playing Slick Shot yet, which seems wrong. And then there's a Esper Tempo, Esper Mid that's playing Duelist of the Mind. So it's like one card from the sets kind of playing into some of these decks here. But this list is from Wappa on MTGO. And here we got, basically it's a slogurk deck. We've had some variations of this in the past. We're going to try it right now. Hopefully people don't have Rest in Peace in their sideboards, but the whole kind of goal of the deck is you're playing Legends, you're kind of self-milling, you're taking advantage of reusing lands that you can get back with a slogurk as well, and then you could kind of loop and then have those effects. What we have in this deck is Honest Rustein, a new card, so Human Warlock enters the battlefield, return target creature card from a graveyard to your hand, and your creature spells cost 1 less. Titania, Rona with tap on tap, Inti fills your graveyard, Relic of Legend lets you loop, Sheoldreds, Ertais. Then we have Annie joins up. So 4 mana, deals 5 to creature Planeswalker, and then if a triggered ability of a legendary creature you control triggers, you get an additional trigger, so kind of Panharmonicon for our Legends, which are all our creatures. We have Bonny Pall, Clearcutter, comes into play, we get an Ox equal to the number of lands we have. And then whenever we attack, we could draw a card and then put a land from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. So kind of ramp, you get some value, and you get card advantage out of it with another big beater. Tiny Bones eats away at their graveyard, gets us to cast some stuff there. Some removal mixed in. Looking at, we have like Giant Scout, Phyrexian, Human. Human most likely is where we're going to be naming. Human with the Cavern of Souls in here, but depending, we might name like Ooze. And then sideboard is broken right now. Like there's a sideboard visualization bug. So when we go into the sideboard games, we will give it a shot and I'll show you what's in the sideboard. So I assume these games are probably going to go pretty long. So we'll play like 1 or 2 just to kind of get a feel for the deck and see how it plays out. Standard best of 3. Let's get Gherkin. Oh no, Annie, are you okay? Like I had the Gurk deck. I've been intimidated to play this deck. It's kind of like an infinite combo in a way, but one of those ones where it's like 700 manual steps and some assembly required. But we're gonna try it out, see how it goes, see how it plays out. So as we wait for an opponent, I did put up a video on Is It Tempo if you're interested in standard with Slick Shot. And then I put out 2 videos on Timeless with the new cards. We have Dimir Mill out there, and then we have a Gruul Scale Up Come Immense Slick Shot deck. So like Gruul Prowess, pulling some cards from like Modern, just really kind of huge damage out of nowhere with that deck, which was pretty sweet. But hopefully we find an opponent soon. I'll come out with the metagame videos as soon as the data is available. I've been checking on Tapped. They have individual like mythic player data, but they don't have the kind of aggregate stats yet. It's just where I'm more interested right now. Usually like one person could do very well with the deck. It might not scale, but kind of take a look from there. So we got it up paired against a diamond rank player. You can tell when I haven't been playing much, when there's like metagame challenges, my rank's really low. I think this is fine. Big thing too is we got improved lands. We'll go Rona here. This looks like it's Convoke most likely. Could be Boros Control. Okay, so different deck here than we anticipated. Angels in this economy? So depending what they do here, I also have the Boseiju that we can blow up the Steel Seraph, which I don't actually hate that. It's basically just removal here. Now we don't get the trigger per se, but I think it's fine, all things considered. Ooh, they don't have any basics, so that's good to know for future games. I think I want the Takenuma more. Oh, I could have played this Spara's Headquarters. Just gonna hold up Ertai here. We can destroy whatever creature they play. So notably we can't counter, but we can destroy. Think we go Inti here. Could just go Shieldred. Hold up Takenuma. Maybe the line. Like we'll have Takenuma for the following turn. Not quite doing like busted graveyard stuff just yet, but they're a little bit burn packaged. Ward Angel. So it could be the 2/4. Oh no, it could be the like Exile. I forget how big it is. We'll discard here. Get Darkslick Shores. Aurelia's Vindicator, I think, is the card. Let me just pull up that text. Forget what that card does. Aurelia Vindicator. Okay, so it's a 4/2. So we'll Takenuma here. We'll get Rona back. Kind of annoying, I really want to play this. But I don't think we're going to have the mana in the end. That's annoying. The blue. Do this. That's kind of frustrating, not being able to cast that. That would have been a huge beater in this matchup. Just being able to get like a 5/5 and the attack triggers. Alright, well, we're probably dead here. We can like loop, but I don't have much with the flyers. So in this matchup, that seems decent. The Ertai seems decent. The cutdowns don't seem like they're going to do that much. Kura sounds reasonable, just as like another big creature. Outside of that, it's probably just get rid of an Inti. This has reach. I think we're fine with everything else. In that matchup there, like our Inti flips were a little lackluster. We weren't really able to get any of the engine going. So their deck's basically probably just a bunch of 3-drops and 4-drops. So we can go Honest Rustein next turn. I can loot away this Rona. So they have the hearse in here. So they have to eat this before the trigger goes, but this is actually fine for us. I had to hold full control. I think I'm just gonna pass here. So that's something to note because they ate that in response to this entering the battlefield. If I had held full control, I could have looted one more time. I think we still draw here. Otawara is not bad. I can do this, play Sheoldred, untap Rona. I think we just pass the turn here. I don't know if they're going to have sweepers, so we'll pass the turn. Maybe it was right to play here, though, because their sweeper's probably Sunfall. Let's draw here. I think it's worth me countering this because their mana doesn't really allow them to play a second spell here. It's an interesting line. I think it's... Whenever a line is put into graveyard from anywhere, I think we're getting rid of this. Could be wrong. I think we just put Otawara here. They preemptively eat there, it's good. Cool. So go full control. Guess we draw a discard still. We got Bonny, which is kind of sweet. Thought that trigger would come out first. The lines in this deck are a little weird. The hearse is a bit annoying. Okay, Archangel of Tithes. Draw here. They didn't really do much other than like eat our graveyard. We should have them dead this turn. Okay, so nothing like too exciting, just kind of beat down. If they're gonna have the graveyard hate, Rustein was fine. I like the vigilance there. Sheoldred might not be needed. It's interesting because I can go like negate, but we're probably not holding up a negate early. So it's like, do we want the Inti? Probably just still play the Sheoldred. Problem is like our removal in this matchup doesn't line up well. We just have to hope that they don't have access to unlicensors. I think we... How many lands are in this deck? 29. Okay, we'll try it out. We should theoretically draw land. Titania being 4 toughness is pretty big. Oh, Jihad is a must kill here. We don't want them to get ahead on mana. We'll definitely try out this deck. That looks pretty sweet. So I'm gonna go like this. I know Rustein can lower the cost, but we don't really have anything that could come out. And then next turn, my Rustein can get back my Rona if needed. Both were gonna die to the strike, so not much could have been done there. Okay. Missing on the line drop there hurts. 29 lines, can't hit line 4. I think we're gonna do this. I need to hit my land. If I don't, then it's pretty bad. Jeez. I think we're just taking the damage. This gives him a card draw. I think it's fine. Okay, so we got Slogurk, which is nice. So it's probably Rona away. See if we hit an untapped blind. We do. I think we're putting Annie away. It's like an interesting decision here because we can ditch the land or like the Annie. But Annie's removal, I need Sunken Citadel to basically make 2 colors here. Titania has reach, which I like. I think we're just getting rid of that. Opponent could calm down. I've used 4 more minutes over the course of 3 games. You can calm down. So they're hitting us for 7 here. It's a pretty big chunk of damage. So Titania. I think we're getting rid of Relic here. Get rid of Sparas here. So whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, so we are just going to kill this now. Attack in, and then I have access to Otawara that we can then bounce something if needed. We also have the reach here with Titania, which is nice. One, two, three. That's fine. So the question here is, do I bounce the Archangel or do I bounce Resplendent? I think we bounce Resplendent. So that's actually cool because I could bring back the land to hand here. So how does this work? Remove, return it to its hand. So here I want to keep up blue mana. Get rid of Titania here. Just kind of go from that angle. They go Resplendent. So if they have Lightning Helix here, they're trying to prop this Resplendent Angel. Yeah. So what we're going to do, I'm going to return this to hand. Now I'm going to bounce Resplendent Angel, and then we kind of go from there. Get wrecked! Get wrecked! This deck's so convoluted. But we took down Angels. Didn't get to do the Annie lines. Like, you want to get Relic going, but I feel like in that matchup we are a little bit too far behind. Darkstream, another content creator. Probably start with Takanuma here. Make him think we're on a different deck, maybe. Probably Golgari midrange. That's fine, because we go Rutzi here. Get back Rona. Perfect timing. Okay, so here we can go Relic. Tap. Tap. Hold up, go for the throat. Which I don't hate. Or I could Inti this turn. Actually, I could Inti. And then I have access to go for the throat as well. Tiny Bones. No blocks here. Trespasser. I think we're just going to go to our turn. Consideration, so I could get rid of Trespasser or I could get rid of Tiny Bones. Start like this. We get another Gurk. I can cast Gurk, doesn't really do much. The client freeze on me. So we're going to discard this Relic. Put a counter here. We get another Relic, which don't love, but is what it is. Kill Tiny Bones here. So they can choose to trade here if they want. Us hitting like the same legends kind of sucks. I think we're happy with that exchange. Oh my god, why is this client so slow? Okay, so we lose a slogurk. That's fine. Obviously need to start finding some lands, which would be good. They can attack in with this Trespasser, but they need multiple removal spells here. So they eat away at the graveyard. Shelly. That's a pain. I think we start with attacking. Discard the land. We hit a land. So no Otawara, which is a tad annoying. So I can activate this at sorcery speed. I think we just do this. Don't have much of a choice here. We didn't hit, like we don't have an Otawara to bounce or attack a Numa. In terms of creatures, there's enough to kill me if they attack all. I think they actually just have it with the cottage. See if they see it. They have a removal spell, I'm just dead as well, but... So how this Rona works, when it's dealt damage, you exile cards at random from their hand. Okay, so they didn't miss the... If they attack with that, it's 8-10. I block. I guess it's not the best line. They can eat 2 there. Okay, so they're opting to go with the lands. I could slogurk back to hand, but I think just keeping a big slogurk has utility. So we have the plaza here. I think it's... Okay, we drew Annie. I could deal with Sheoldred. We are presenting lethal. If I do this, it's 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm 1 short otherwise. I think we're just letting them trade here. We're going to discard here. Good Rustein, but this line is a little worse. Oh, we can do both. Can we? Yes. I could slogurk, and I could, but then that means I'm a little susceptible. I want to keep this around, I think. Pass the turn. This also turns them off. They get a food here. I think we're trading here. That's 4. I don't think they can do anything. We're just doing that. So with the trigger, you can actually bounce, like, unbounce. Cool. So this matchup here. Kura seems good, Alcazat seems good, Ertai seems good. I don't know if we want duress. I don't think we want cut downs from what we've seen. I guess they can have tiny bones on the play, which is a little annoying. Eats away at my graveyard. Keeping a copy. Probably don't need Titania here for more of the aggressive decks. It does block Trespasser pretty good, so maybe trim to 1 copy. Other than that, this provides card advantage. I do like the Annie just because it could deal with enough damage. It's probably... I mean, they can't be playing that many tiny bones, and if they are, they got me. We can block it if needed. So the deck's pretty sweet, a little convoluted. Maybe? I don't know. Like, we don't do anything on 2, but this deck doesn't really do much on 2. My concern is we kind of get run down. Okay, we'll keep this one. I think we're putting back a Zeatora. Because they might be inclined to bring in something like Duress here too, so that first hand also gets hit pretty hard by Duress, which I don't love. I really don't like these new arts. They have Hearse. Yeah, so we have Annie. I think it's just this. This. And then say go. Okay, so they go for the throw at that, that's fine. With them having such little removal, or like cards, sorry, not removal. Okay, Shelly. They could crew here. I'm 1 mana short. decline here. So we get 2 triggers off Inti, which is nice. Kind of get them that way there. Eating at their own graveyard. Said, Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? Shoot the sheriff. I'm gonna just do this. We get a couple triggers here. They can eat the land, that's fine, but I just want to keep pushing damage in. We're at 5 power now. I don't think they're going to have something like Devious Cover Up, so I think it's fine to put that out there. Their ass. No lands to come back. Could just like flip and force. The hearse gets bigger, but I'm not like super concerned with that at this point. I'll have Ertai up. And I can just counter like whatever spell they play. So you definitely need Rest in Peace, I think, against this deck, as opposed to the hearse. The hearse is actually, no, I take that back. Like, it's doing a reasonable job. My slogurk could be much better right now. I do think you maybe want a more fair game plan, but mind you, like, we're just beating down with big things, which also works. You may want like a Planeswalker, but some sweet games. I'm obviously not navigating it to 100% its capacity, but took down the games. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a great one. Stay safe out there.